Hey, World Series champion, Johnny Damon.
This is World Series champion, Cliff Floyd.
This is Kevin Newman of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
This is a World Series champion, Ozzie Guillen.
This is Carlos Pena, 14-year MLB veteran.
This is two-time NL MVP Dale Murphy of the Atlanta Braves.
This is John DePlante, pitcher with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
This is World Series champion Joe Musgrove.
This is Jordan Luplow of the Cleveland Indians.
This is Lance Coach Jim of the Houston Astros.
What's up, it's A. Jones of the Buffalo Bills.
It's Tyler Lockett of the Seattle Seahawks.
It's Hunter Henry of the LA Chargers.
It's Jose Canseco.
And when I'm not on the field catching bombs from Russell Wilson.
When I'm not on the field catching bombs.
When I'm not on the field catching bombs.
When I'm not on the field hitting bombs.
I'm watching my guys over at FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb. FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb breaks
off those nasty
FIlthbomb. I know a thing or two about hitting some bombs, fellas.
But there's nothing quite like hitting a FIlthbomb
with my guys over at FIlthbomb Breaks.
FIlthbomb! FIlthbomb! Mike Trout 101 auto!
MVP breakers, MVP prices.
Keep those FIlthbombs coming. I'll keep those World Series coming.
Thanks for making baseball cards fun again.
Thanks for making baseball cards fun again, guys. Go Bucks.
Thanks for making collecting cards fun again for the kids and for all of us old-timers as well.
A way to make baseball cards fun again, guys. Keep pulling those nasty filth bombs.
And pull me a Jose Canseco Superfractor.
And hit me a West Coast Superfractor. Go Astros.
Please pull me a DePlante Superfractor.
How about you go pull me a Jordan Luplow Superfractor?
And now, introducing from New York, opening packs at the speed of sound, pulling filth out of cases nightly, the undefeated, undisputed champion of the sports card breaking industry, FIlthbomb Breaks. It's time for FIlthbomb.
What's going on, everyone? Stephen Michael here with FIlthbomb Breaks, coming to you live from the House of Wax right here in Long Island, New York on January 22nd, 2020. The time is 7:12 p.m. Eastern, and I am with my co-host, Louis Zolo, Derek Morgan. What is up, boys?
What is up? Let's go Mets. Rojas.
That's so brutal. Cookie Rojas is the new manager?
Cookie Rojas. Oh, miserable.
That's
and they signed the fifth guy on their list before they hired Beltran. And they not only did they hire him, they give him a multi-year deal. Only the Mets, boy. Only the Mets.
I mean, it's a real smart move. It's a real. At least they didn't bring back Terry Collins. That I was worried that was going to happen.
You know, he's Felipe Alu's son.
The amazing Mets.
Cookie Rojas?
Not Cookie. Cookie Rojas.
Oh, yeah. No. All right. Well, as you can tell from the photo in the upper left corner, we are going to break down the NL Central. Not only are we going to go down team by team, we're going to give you some sleepers, some must-haves, and some no thank yous in the card market. So people you may want to try to invest in and people you're not going to want to invest in as well. So let's start it off in alphabetical order, boys. We will start with those Brewers from Milwaukee. What accent was that? Was that the crocodile?
I don't know. That was like Irish and...
That was... I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize. Milwaukee Brewers. Derek, what do you think?
I don't know about them this year. I think they're overall pretty good. I'll tell you one thing, though. Looking over this division, I think like almost every team on here is pretty damn good next year. I'm excited to see what their pitching could do with Brandon Woodruff being healthy, and then is Zach Davies still on the team?
No.
Didn't he he's gone. So actually I really don't know how their pitching is gonna form, but they do have Hura, they do have Yelich. Hopefully he bounces back and he's healthy. They got some good guys on that roster, but I just don't know this year about them. I don't know if I'm feeling too confident.
Louis, what about you?
Well, first thing I want to say is for anybody watching, if you're taking notes on who to believe because you want to place prop bets, obviously it's not Derek when we just spoke about Zach Davies for 6 hours 2 days ago.
It was throwing me off because I'm seeing him on the roster, and then I'm like, no, we were just talking about him. There's no way that he's on the Padres now, right?
Derek voted against Jeter. That was him.
But here we go to the Brewers. I want to just make a statement first, stating this might sound crazy to some, but he's not a sleeper. But Christian Yelich, undervalued and almost underrated with the numbers he puts up.
Agreed.
I mean, people are surprised because he's been doing this since he's been on the Marlins. I mean, they gave him away for Lewis Brinson. Does anybody know who that is?
He's a big player on the Marlins.
2017 and 18 cards, you pulled a bunch of them.
Yeah, exactly. Garbage. Hiura, I'm sure, is probably one of your favorites because he's Asian.
One of them.
So I'll let you speak about him. But all jokes aside, I like that they got Smoke. I know he didn't have the best year last year, but this guy is just 1 year, 2 years removed from an All-Star game.
Yes.
Yeah, on the Jays.
Right. Braun, still Braun, I guess. Locaine, always liked them. The pitching staff is where it gets shady. But I guess they only need to find somebody to go 6 innings because Hader comes in for 2, right? As a closer. Seems like every game he's blowing his arm out for 2 innings.
I'm calling this right now. Josh Hader does not make it past the 2020 season.
You cut out a little bit.
I said I'm calling it right now. Hader does not make it through the 2020 season.
Why? Just because he's throwing gas?
They're just overusing the guy, man. They just put him in. His numbers have gone down, even though he won reliever. He was the NL reliever, right? Yeah. But compared to a reliever of the year, his numbers went down from 2 years ago, I believe. And they're just overusing. The Brewers do that, man. They overuse pitchers. Their guys are always hurt. I'm gonna call that he's hurt at some point for a long period of the 2020 season. But not only him. That's bullpen. Let's look at the starting pitching. Brandon Woodruff, I like him. I've always liked him. I was higher on him than most. But then it just gets ugly fast. I mean, Adrian Hauser, Brett Anderson, Josh Lindblom, Eric Lauer. I mean, that sounds like, Lewis, it sounds like some guys you went to Hebrew school with.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's a good one. Hebrew school. That's hilarious. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I'm looking at the depth chart right now. I don't know half these guys. Who's
bad now?
Josh Lindblom.
That was the Hebrew school guy.
Yeah, it must be. He's my rabbi. Josh Lindblom is on the Brewers now.
That's it. I mean, I'll give them the hitting. They have great hitting. Great hitting.
Great hitting.
They got Goggles leading off, according to RotoChamp, and I don't like Goggles.
Sugard?
Yeah, Eric Sogard. But Kane, I mean, even Kane, he's kind of like he plays a nasty center, but his bat's been decline for the past couple years. Yelich stud. I love Kyoto. Braun is just a name at this point. Omar Narvaez, they got him, I guess, from Seattle. He had a nice year. Avisel Garcia, the one that looks like Miggy. And then they have Luis Urias, where maybe a change of scenery will help him out. I mean, all in all, yeah.
I don't like Urias, however you say his name. Not sold. But I like Garcia.
I mean, maybe a change of scenery helps him. Garcia could hit. Garcia's proven in the past he could hit. Let's move on to the card market. If you're looking to invest, okay, I think the only person you want a sleeper right now is Keston Yoda. I think his stuff is super cheap still.
Mm-hmm.
You could get his stuff for pennies on the dollar, and he has the potential to triple, quadruple what he's at right now, even more. You know, his stuff is that cheap. Like, it doesn't make sense, especially he's proven he can hit major league pitching, and it's like nobody believes him still.
It's crazy, yeah.
So that is a good move. Christian Yelich is a must-have and even a buy low still. I mean, if you compare his tops update to others, I mean, I guess his update's doing well. I mean, I guess he's in the Arenado range, right? What's Arenado's update? Maybe Arenado's like $20 cheaper than Yelich for updates right now. So I guess I guess we move him to the must-have category. He's not necessarily a sleeper, but he is undervalued as far as underrated in the market itself. His autos don't do anything near what they should do.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's the Brewers. I mean, playoff team. Playoffs?
No.
Probably not.
I don't want to give any predictions away yet, but I had them higher until I really looked over this pitching staff. I think they just
Pitching is just disgusting.
I love Woodruff though. That's the thing. Like Woodruff is nasty, but then like there's nothing after him.
No,
yeah, then you got smoke. You don't have anything after that.
You got Josh Lindblom.
He's good. He's good.
If Hader does go down, like you're claiming, then they're really in trouble because who's stepping in?
Man,
they don't have anybody in the bullpen either.
I don't think it matters. They have them. They can't even utilize them.
You know what I will say about the Brewers is there's always like one or two guys that comes out of nowhere and does great, like Brandon Woodruff, Zach Davies. The past couple of years, Freddie Peralta. They've had some guys like come out of nowhere and just like get 17 wins, dude.
Zach Davies.
Zach Davies, dude, I'm telling you, I had him on my fantasy team a couple years ago. He was crushing it.
You're number one Davies fan ever.
He had a 1.8 ERA, 17 wins, 8 losses. Came out of thin air.
All right, let's move on to the Cardinals. Let's move on to the St. Louis Cardinals. All right, so I'm going to start off with their pitching staff right now, okay? I think Jack Flaherty is a stud.
Yes.
I love him. He needs to work on his base running. You saw that game last year? They ran. They put Flaherty in. He got picked off.
Did he? That's fine.
Stupid.
They put him in a pinch run on second base. He got picked off second. That's bad.
Carlos Martinez.
They got Miles Mikolas. He's all right. I'm not as high as him as some people are. They got Dakota Hudson. I think he's good. He had a strong second half, I believe. Adam Wainwright. Oh, man. One of these seasons, he's going to turn into King Felix. You just don't know when he's going to turn into an absolute pumpkin. It could be this year. But one of these years, I thought it was going to be last year. He goes through these spurts where he throws up like a 10 ERA for like 4 starts, and then he actually comes back. His whip isn't going to be anything special. But, I mean, kudos to him, man. He just keeps going. I think you're playing with fire, though, at this point with him. But he is their 4. Carlos Martinez. And then my favorite pitcher, Kwang Hyun Kim.
Oh, my God, dude. He is so good.
Who? Kwang Hyun Kim, my man. Byung-Hyun Kim's cousin. But I love...
He's from South Korea, dude. He posted up a .99 ERA in Japan. .99 for the whole year.
I mean...
Yeah, 27
solid.
wins, dude. How do you even
Are you messing with me right now or no?
Check his stats.
Young Kim?
Yes. Kwang Hyun Kim.
All right. I mean, my man crushed it then. I know nothing about him. I shouldn't even be on air right now talking about him. But he's their number 6, and they have Wainwright slotted ahead of him, so I'm figuring these trash bags. We're going to the lineup. Dexter Fowler.
What a beast.
Washed. Colton Wong.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes hot.
He's still good.
Yeah, he goes hot, but then he goes just as cold. Goldie I love, but he's been one of those players where he gets his numbers, but he gets them in bunches. So It's like you can't even rely on the guy. He'll carry you for a month, and then just you don't even want him in your lineup. Paul DeJong, he's solid. I like him. Matt Carpenter, he's on the decline. Yachty, every year he just gets it done. I mean, nothing spectacular, but for a hitting catcher, I like him. Tommy Edman, I think he's a sleeper. I think he showed. I like little guys, man. So I'm rooting for him. And then Harrison Bader. He plays a mean outfield, but he can't swing a bat.
Yeah, he's fast. That's about it. He's got speed.
I think if you're looking at an overall picture, guys, I mean, are we?
Tyler O'Neill too.
Oh man, he's been around forever too, man. He's young still too. He has pop, but when I think of Tyler O'Neill, I think of Steven Piscotty, Randall Grichuk.
Yeah.
Like these guys all are hyped up with so much pop, and then they just never click. I mean,
they don't have a. Yeah.
I think overall, depending how we break down the rest of this division, depends how Mikolas does. If Mikolas pitches well, I think they're a playoff team. Because I love Flaherty. I think they haven't projected 3.57 ERA, 13-9. I think he's going to crush those numbers.
I think
I like him. So, who do you like as far as a sleeper for investment purposes, Derek?
I like Flaherty all day, honestly. I love him. Like what he did in the second half last year, he was crushing it. He had like a 1 point whatever ERA. I think those projected numbers, 3 point whatever, I think he's going to be in the twos. I think his wins are going to be above 15. I think he's going to kill it this year.
No,
especially since he's the strongest on the team. And honestly, they do have like a wishy-washy lineup, but if that lineup comes to play that day, like you said, Goldschmidt hits in bunches. You still got Yachty. He's super clutch. Matt Carpenter, Paul DeJong, Tommy Edman. You have speed, power, and clutch all up in that lineup, and that's all you need to win games, I feel like.
The only problem is I look at their average. This is what everyone's averages. I'm not even going to read names. I'm just going to read projected batting averages. 235, 271, 279, 245, 238, 267, 280, 235.
Is that the Mets or is that the Cardinals?
Shoot. That's Cookie Rojas' lifetime batting average. So, I mean, all right, let's real quick, so let's go to must-haves. Also, I think Yadi Molina, super underrated. You should go after his rookies right now.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think he's got room for growth, even though he's so old in as far as a hobby goes. I'd be buying Yachty rookies. Tommy Edman, I'd be conservative with, but I'd still be looking to buy. As far as no thank you, I'm out on Goldschmidt. No thank you. No, you don't really need Goldschmidt at this point. He's old. He's not going to hit any milestones as far as I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think there's a need to pay premium for this guy's stuff. Lewis, what do you think about Goldie? I'm curious what you think about Goldschmidt.
You know, it's funny you asked me that question because that's going to be my statement anyway. Was first of all, stud in Arizona, then came to the Cardinals, and like you said, and I have this guy in fantasy every year. He does do everything in bunches. Problem is, this past year, he didn't have those bunches. It never happened. It was spread out. It was never clutch. It was just a weird season. Never, like everything was down. But usually, you're right. He does come in bunches. You'll get like 3 homers and 6 RBIs in one game. So it looks like he had a great week, but it was always in one game.
Yeah, that's
he didn't have
Goldie.
that. He didn't have that at all last year. So I don't know if it's change of scenery, not doing him well, but I'd stay away from him too. I stay away from Carlos Martinez.
Cricket.
And I mean, I know this is a long shot. Really?
Yeah, you got a little Cricket Mobile on him. Is this time for a sponsor read?
No, I'm Cricket right now, for real.
Running out of service? Call up Lewis. He's got Cricket Mobile.
Oh, yeah. I'm busting through. I'm Cricket Mobile right now?
No, now you're good. Oh,
I was going to say, everything was perfect.
No.
Anyway, you didn't miss anything.
Blurry.
I was saying Carlos Martinez, I don't like. And I know this is a long shot because, probably years away considering Yachty, and then they have Matt Wieters. But Kisner, too, I don't know when he's ever going to get to play.
And then they got
If
Gorman.
he's never going to get to play.
Nolan Gorman's another top prospect. All right, but let's move away from them for a second, and let's move to the Chicago Cubs. What are your guys' thoughts on the Cubs this year?
They're the Cubs. They're all right. They do okay. They get wins. They didn't really make any. I don't think they made any huge off-season pickups or drops. They got what's his name last year called up. Everybody's really hyped on that kid. What's his name? Nico Horner. Forgot about him.
Cookie Rojas.
Yeah, honestly, I see a lot of dudes going after him. I'm staying away from Nico Horner. I had some of his cards and I dumped them all. I don't know how I feel about this team. I mean, they have a good lineup. They just seem kind of like they're out of their prime or getting on to the end of it. Chris Bryant, Javi Baez, Anthony Rizzo. A couple years ago, you'd kill to have those guys on your team. Now you're like, they're good. They're above average, but they're they're not the superstars that they were. I'd see a bounce back from Baez. Hopefully Bryant. Rizzo, I mean, has just been like a 30 home run kind of guy. He's always been pretty solid. You're just gonna have to depend on Contreras and all those other guys to really show up if they want to be a playoff team this year.
See, I kind of think the exact opposite. I think out of the three teams we're speaking about right now, looking at them on paper, this is probably the best of the three. I think Rizzo, Bryant, Baez, Schwarber, although I've never been a huge Schwarber fan, but I think that four is stronger than any four that we've read on the Brewers or Cardinals. I think Bryant, which we'll touch base on in a few, a great buy low right now, not because I think he's going to have a Hall of Fame career or because I think he's going to be elite moving forward, but we'll touch base on that in a second. I think Baez bounces back. I think Wilson Contreras is a solid hitting catcher. Jason Hayward is Dexter Fowler. Ian Happ is Ian Happ. And David Bodie. So, I mean, their lineup drops off fast after Contreras, but, I mean, so did the Brewers lineup and the Cardinals lineup. Pitching, we got Darvish, Jose Quintana, Kyle Hendricks, John Lester, and Tyler Chatwood. I still love Kyle Hendricks. Yu Darvish is a name at this point. I think he's an above-average pitcher, but he's not Yu Darvish that everyone thought he was going to be when he first broke into the league. I think he still has some of that hype surrounding him. Jose Quintana, I mean, I don't think he's ever been good. People used to talk about him like an ace, and I just don't think he was ever good. He always had, like, decent numbers. He never had anything where you were like, oh, my goodness. Like, this is 1A right here. Kyle Hendricks, I like that. I think that's your ace. I think he doesn't strike a lot of people out, but he's legit. His control, he's like, I don't want to compare him to Greg Maddux because he's definitely not Greg Maddux, but he's Greg Maddux-esque. Lester, every time you count him out, he bounces back. I don't know why or how, but it's like you're ready to write him off and just be like, no, he's washed, and then he throws up like a first half and he's in the Cy Young running, you know? So you never know with him. I don't know. I like them. Lewis, what do you think of the Cubs?
I think some of the moves sometimes that you don't make end up to be the best moves for the team. And I say that because I think keeping Chris Bryant was a huge piece. Like you said, he might not be a Hall of Famer, but I think he has plenty left in the tank, especially when you're playing at Wrigley. You make contact, the ball's going out, guy still has power. Rizzo, I still like. Contreras, I think probably one of the best catchers in the league. But when we go to the outfield, Happ, Hayward, and Schwarber.
Yeah, it gets ugly.
Schwarber goes on my list. Yeah, Schwarber goes on my list with Profar and Will Myers. One of those guys that I just don't understand why people keep around. I never liked him when he was in his prime. And I don't even know when his prime was. But I mean, like a year or two ago when his cars were really hot, I didn't buy one of them.
He always
never liked
40,
Schwarber.
Right? Doesn't Schwarber always just look like a dad?
Like Shrek.
You know, if Schwarber doesn't miss the full season but comes back for the playoffs and get that game-winning hit, people wouldn't even really know who he is. And probably people don't even know what I'm talking about the game-winning hit. I think Schwarber is garbage, and I think Yu Darvish is, you said a little above average. I think Yu Darvish is straight trash. Horrible.
But you have to remember how trash the average pitcher in baseball is, though.
That's the problem. And I'll tell you, as much as I thought I knew about baseball, as we've been going through these teams, like for the last 6 days, I can't believe what limited options these teams have. Where did everybody go? Where are the superstars?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You'd kill for Yu Darvish on some of these teams.
Oh, hell yeah.
But that's sad. That's the point. That's sad.
Oh, definitely. If we're talking about now card investments, I think Chris Bryant, so I was touching on it before, but listen, Chris Bryant, not for the long play, but remember what I always say, good-looking All-American white boy. He's a good-looking All-American white boy. People are rooting for him. People want him to do great, just like they want Bryce Harper to do great. All it's going to take for his cards to get an uptick of like 30 to 50% in value is have one hot month. If he has a hot month, everybody forgets about the past. Now he's Chris Bryant of old again, and his value's close to where it was at its peak. It happens all the time, though. And then will it go back down if he gets cold? Yeah. But if you want to capitalize quickly on a buy low, I mean, you could get Chris Bryant, top Scrum rookies right now for like $35. It's sick. You couldn't do that. PSA 10, you couldn't do that a couple of years ago. You couldn't touch them.
And then they got Kimbrel closing, right? And then Jeff Howard mentions Rowan Wick. Says the closer in waiting is the guy to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of him.
Mm-mm.
But he's the setup guy.
Jeff knows.
But that's his pick. He does, and he pays attention when they're all in the minors, so he has a better idea of people who are up and coming. Jose Quintana, I mean, they paid him, so you better do something. Hendricks, I like. Lester, I mean, like you hit the nail on the head with that one. Every time you just think he's finished, he comes back and has like a streak of like 6-7 wins in a row.
Yeah,
just Darvish.
You can't write him off.
No.
All right, so
I don't know. Looking at this, they moved up. Yeah, these guys are moving up on the list. Looking at this depth chart.
I mean, they're number one right now for me. Guys, I didn't make my list. I'm making it on the fly, just so you guys know. I'd still invest a little bit in. Let's real quick. I haven't looked at his numbers. Let's look at Anthony Rizzo's career stats, okay? And let's see if he can make a case for Hall of Fame. Let's see.
I'm saying no. With exclamation points before you even read off stats.
Okay, so he is only 29. I thought he was older. Okay, he has 218 homers. So, I mean, that's not terrible. He's in Arenado territory. I would think that Arenado had more home runs than him. He's got 1,204 hits. He's got a career 273 batting average. 400 OBP, though. He's got a World Series, 3-time Gold Glove. Right now, no. But what I'm saying is also with him, his Topps Update rookie card, super cheap from 2011. People love rooting for Rizzo, too. He's a good story. He's a feel-good story, Anthony Rizzo. So he's another one you could buy and quick flip if he does good. Anybody else on that team, though, I want no part of. I'm good. Thank you anyway. I'll pass. Let's move on, though. Let's move on to the Pittsburgh. I'm a sucker for these guys every year. I'm rooting for
what?
Pittsburgh. I always put a future bet on Pittsburgh because for some reason they're always sexy to me. I don't know why. What do you guys, Derek? Start it off. What do you think about Pittsburgh?
I think they have a young team, and it's going to take a while for them to get better. Right now, I don't really like that much about them. I mean, you could say Brian Reynolds had a great year last year, but like, who is the man on that team? I guess you could say Josh Bell, but he was only the man last year for maybe just a couple of months, and then he just fell off. So
yeah, he fell off.
There's
until he played me.
Yeah, there's no one on that team that makes you go, wow, like that guy is an all-star. Like since Andrew McCutchen left that team, there's nobody on that team that makes you go crazy.
What happened to Jameson Tyone?
He's throwing. He was injured or whatever. I actually read something today on the transactions. He's like throwing. Yeah, resumes throwing.
Yeah,
because
he's not even in their projected rotation right now. All right, so look, and maybe I'm just a sucker for the Pirates every year. All right, I'm a believer in Brian Reynolds. I love him. I think the Giants made a huge mistake getting rid of him. I think the dude can flat out rake. He's your leadoff hitter. Love him. I think he's one of the top leadoff guys in the NL. I think he was making a run for the batting title at one point in 2019. Then Starlin Marte, people write him off. I mean, he's still an above-average batter. He still has a power-speed combo, which is tough, man. It's hard to find a power-speed combo. He's proven in the past he could be elite. He also got caught with steroids. We don't know what was what. But then we got Gregory Polanco. I think he has talent. He puts it together for short periods of time, and then he disappears. But Josh Bell, I think, is a real deal now. I love Josh Bell. I think you could pencil Josh Bell in for 30 home runs plus this year. Kevin Newman, I like him a lot more than everyone else does. I think Kevin Newman can hit. What did he put up? Like a 19-game hit streak last year? 20-game hit streak? Something like that. I like him. Then you got Adam Frazier, Jacob Stallings, trash bags. But, I mean, there's not many teams aside from the Cubs where there's 4 batters that I really am confident in. I'm confident in Reynolds. I'm confident in Bell. I'm confident in Newman. I think you could build a team around those 3. And then I'm confident in either Marte or Polanco. I think one of those 2 has a good year this year. When you get to the pitching staff, though, it gets ugly. Chris Archer is Yu Darvish. It's a name. You want to root for him. He's been hyped up. He hasn't done good in
20 years.
Yeah, I mean, the guy just, his last good year, I don't even want to look it up. I'm going to say 3 years ago it was his last good year. Joe Musgrove, he hasn't pitched in forever. Or no, he has, right? Musgrove's pitched. He had Tommy John, though, didn't he?
Musgrove, when he was on the Astros?
Let me see. The Musgrove, I remember he pitched last year, actually.
Jose Musgrove?
Jose, bro.
I'm just kidding. It's Joe Musgrove. I'm kidding. No, he did pitch last year, but he was at a 4.4 ERA.
How many innings?
Oh, he pitched 170. He started 31 games.
I'm bugging.
Come on, Steven.
I'm bugging. All right. Hold on.
That's just how bad they are.
No, then you have Steven Brault, trash bags. Trevor Williams, I like. I think Trevor Williams is good. He got hurt, and it kind of set him back last year. He had a good year 2 years ago. He had a good beginning of last year, and then he just got hurt and wasn't the same. But I think that he has the potential to turn into a number 1 on that team. Tyone, depending when he comes back. And then they have Mitch Keller. And I think Mitch Keller's a good talent. I know I sound so biased, like I'm born in Pittsburgh, but I like him. I think they're definitely behind the Cubs. Right now, they're number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah, number 2 right now. I have, after looking at these teams, I have the Cubs, I have the Pirates, Cardinals, and Brewers.
No way. I only agree with one of them on there.
I like them.
Check out the Reds now. So let's move over to the Reds.
Oh, yeah, we'll move to the Reds now. But hold on. Before we do, let's help you guys out with the sports cards. Investments. I think Brian Reynolds is dirt cheap right now. Go buy him up. You could buy a lot of them, too. I'm bullish on him. I think you could buy a bunch of his update stuff. His stuff is really cheap. Like, go look, and you're going to be like, oh, wow, I could afford this guy. Another person I'd be looking to buy is maybe some of Josh Bell's early stuff. Look for some Josh Bell stuff. I think that he puts up another year or 2 the way he did last year, and people are going to be on the hype train. His stuff's still dirt cheap. And then if you're feeling frisky, go look at Kevin Newman. Go look at Kevin Newman. I think his stuff is still dirt cheap as well. I mean, I know it is. I think it's just worth it. Anybody else, stay away from. Stay away from Colin Farrell. I mean, wait, who is it? Colin Moran, Adam Frazier. No thanks. Jacob Stallings. He went with you too, Luda. Hebrew school. Jacob Stallings.
I'm still here. I didn't know you guys were moving on to the Reds. I didn't even get to say anything about the Pirates yet.
No, Derek was. Derek was ready.
I'm on the pay no mind list over here.
As soon as he said that the Pirates were number 2, I just next.
I was like, Brian Reynolds is great. He's like, you think Brian Reynolds is good? Check out the Reds.
Bro,
I'll make it quick.
I'll
make it quick.
Yeah.
You ready to hear it quick? All right. Josh Bell, 37 homers, stud. I think he'll do it again.
Yes,
I like him.
Yes.
After that 37 homers, the next best on the team was Marte at 23. After that, nobody even hit over 20. Their number 1 starter is Archer, who, like you said, big fan. But I'm with everybody else. You're like a big fan of the guy, but you don't know why. Because he stinks. If that's your number 1 guy, forget it. And I think the only guy with any promise would be Cole Tucker if he gets to play ever. So besides the Orioles...
You don't like Reynolds?
No, I don't know enough about him to give an honest opinion. But I don't like Reynolds enough to save a team from 100 losses. I'll tell you that. I say behind the Orioles, the Tigers, and the Giants, this is probably the worst team in baseball.
Wow.
Yeah. 100%, dude. That's why I was like, there's no way in hell. Pirates are number 5 on my list. I'll just tell you right now. They're not like. I don't know if they're gonna lose 100, but they're losing 90.
So you guys,
I don't think they're gonna lose 100. I think they're better. I think they're better than 100 loss team, if that means anything. But that's it. I don't think they have a shot. I don't think they are competitive. I just think they're gonna be flirting with 100 losses.
You guys keep
Maybe low
forgetting
90s.
though that they turn pitchers from rocks to flowers. Like these guys turn nobodies into pitchers in Pittsburgh. They do it consistently.
But they didn't do it last year.
Well, they just had
and if they
had crippling injuries. Like they're number 1.
Then
and
they
number
must
2
be
both went
excited.
down.
Then they must be excited because they have a whole bunch of rocks to work with. I'll tell you that. Then I guess their plan is working because they got a roster.
All right, I'm going on the record right now. 2020. All right, 2020. Pirates win total. Let's see what Vegas has them pegged at.
Bad.
All right, right now it's at 70 and a half.
That's a 92 losses.
All right, so this is what it says. I don't even know what I'm reading. I don't even know what I'm reading. What if this is reputable? But it says 2019 69 wins was the worst of Clint Hurdle's time in Pittsburgh, and the Pirates needed a slew of injuries, which I said, and off-field incidents to stoop that low. So new leadership is in place now, and all those injured buccos, except Jameson Tyone, will be back on the field in 2020. Oh, so he's not back on the field. I'm out on them. Out. I thought he was going to be pitching.
Why, he was your savior?
Well,
Tyone was your
I think
savior?
Tyone is a potential Cy Young candidate. Like, I like that guy a lot. I really do. Like how I'm talking about Flaherty, I think if Tyone didn't get hurt this past year, we'd be having the same conversation about him. Like, I think he's a real talent, especially pitching in that division. I think he's legitimate. But all right, so I'm gonna adjust my rankings. Give me a second, please. So I'm not gonna move him at 2, but I will.
Who's left? The Reds?
Yeah, I will put him at 3 because I don't like the Brewers at all. I think the Brewers are like the Yankees 2012, just like all washed up, sticking around too long. They're just all washed, the Brewers. All right, let's move on though to the Reds. Derek, I know you're chomping at the bit for this one.
I like them. I like Luis Castillo. I like Sonny Gray. I think Trevor Bauer had a shit year last year. I think he bounces back. They have 3 strong starters right there. Then you get
Luis Castillo that dropped the high pop, A-Rod's high pop.
Dude, I like Luis Castillo.
You don't know who I'm talking about. Remember Luis Castillo on the Marlins?
When are you talking about when he said when he was calling behind him?
No, bro. All right. I know
Luis Castillo from the Marlins. He was a fast dude. He's like throwback though.
Remember Zach Davies?
Who's that?
Nothing. All right, keep going.
I have more appearances from Cricket Mobile popping in and out than Zach Davies.
Yeah, every time
Zach Davies.
every time he disappears, a cricket pops up.
Descalfani's not that bad. I like him too. He had a 3-something ERA last year. They have a pretty solid pitching rotation. They got Wade Miley. I don't know how much that's going to do. They still have Tyler Mahle. He's okay. Michael Lorenzen. I like Michael Lorenzen. I don't know, dude. They got Moustakas, Eugenio Suarez, Joey Votto, Aristides Aquino, Nick Senzel.
Votto's
bad.
All I need to just Google Votto's warm up, his batting routine, and you'll never say Votto again.
You don't think he's good though? He's a Hall of Famer.
No, I'm talking about this year though, coming up. Come on, stop. Nobody.
I don't think he's gonna be fantastic, but he's not gonna. I think he had an off year last year. Look at all his years before last year.
I mean, he's definitely been declining. I think he's turning. I don't know. He's turning into a little bit of a head case. I think. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Is warm-up
Yeah,
routine.
I saw it where he like goes crazy with that. He's like banging like his elbows and whatever together. But
look, I'm gonna
I
be
don't
honest.
think they're that bad.
I don't start really researching baseball till like the end of February, till there's like a bunch of trades gone through, and like because whenever I research this early, then things usually wind up changing anyway. I just want to ask you, who's Shogo Akiyama? Who's Shogo Akiyama? He's penciled in as the leadoff hitter. I have no idea. Derek, you seem to know all these Asian guys. Who is he?
Shogo Akiyama?
Bro, no joke.
Are you kidding me? You don't know who that is?
Bro, Shogo Akiyama. It's got him penciled in for 19 homers, though, and a 283 batting average.
He's a beast. He's a center fielder. They just picked him up last year from Japan. The guy has a 303 batting average over there, right? So who knows? He's got 20 homers, 62 ribbies. He's not a bad hitter. And he was playing for Cebu.
What do you do with Senzel then?
Yeah,
Isn't he a center fielder?
Yeah, Senzel should be penciled in right now over Shogo Akiyama.
Yeah, but I think they'll find a different spot for him because who else do they got out there? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
All right.
They got Aquino out there who you saying you like.
I'm going to look dumb right now or I'm going to look like a genius. I say Aquino doesn't have more than 12 home runs this year. That's my bold prediction.
False.
My prediction is he does not have more than 12 home runs, and he winds up not even playing more than half the season in the bigs because he's trash bags. That's my prediction.
You want to hear something crazy? I agree with you.
I truly think that. I mean,
I agree with you.
He had a special year. Come on.
You think it was one of those freak things that happened, right? Because I was thinking it last year when he's hitting. He hit like almost 20 home runs in like 10 games or something stupid like that.
He is Chris Shelton. I
don't even know who that is, bro. Jason Bay?
Isn't he the country singer?
No, I think that's Blake. Chris Shelton was the guy on the Tigers. Remember that big white dude that came up the first week of the season? I think it was like 2004 or 5, and he hit like 8 home runs in the first week. You don't know Chris Shelton?
I don't remember Chris
Jason
Shelton
Bay.
No, that's bad. So back to my main point. Zach Davies, right? Zach Davies. All right, so they have Joey Votto, Suarez, Moustakas. All right, Aquino, I don't like him at all. Jesse Winker, everyone was hyped on the dude. Oh, he's going to click. Like, I feel like he was what Nick Senzel's going to be, Jesse Winker, and he's not. He is what he is at this point.
Yeah, he's okay.
Freddie Galvis and Tucker Barnhart. So, I mean, all right, pencil Senzel in at the top. Take Shogo, buy one, get one free, whatever, BOGO. My man's, that lineup's not scary.
I think it is. I'll tell you, the Reds, if you guys watch the Reds play, which I do a lot. You know, I'm a National League guy. Apparently, you guys are not. I mean, in general, right? I mean, I'm not. I'm just saying. So the Reds always put up runs. The Reds are all tough outs, top to bottom. For some reason, you just can't get them out. It's that pitching is always so bad. And playing in that ballpark, just homers left and right. So that's why Aquino, right? I don't think he's going to have a good season anyway, but this guy has to stay in Cincinnati to succeed. That hot streak he had was only because he played in Cincinnati. And most of them were home runs in the home ballpark where the ball travels. He played in like Yankee Stadium because he's a righty, right? Aquino's a righty. He'd be in trouble.
Here's the deal with him. Yeah. Everybody had a whole offseason to figure the dude out. He's going to catch a nasty dose of breaking balls and just be so flustered, man, come 2020. Look, I think that the Reds pitching staff is going to be a lot better than people think, and I think that their batting is going to be a lot worse than people think. I think Suarez takes a step back. I think Moustakas takes a step back. I think Aquino takes a major step back. I think Senzel, I don't see Senzel having a monster season, but I think he definitely improves on last year's numbers. Maybe Shogo Akiyama winds up doing something, but I mean, I'm higher on Sonny Gray Luis Castillo and Trevor Bauer than I am on that lineup. I think that's probably one of the top 5 1 through 3s in baseball.
It's not bad.
No, I like it. Yeah. I think it's very good.
Yeah, I forgot they got Trevor Bauer. And Wade Miley's a nice pickup. I don't understand how Houston left Wade Miley off the playoff roster last year and just traded him away like he was nothing. He had a great season.
Oh, yeah. Miley, they just like bounced him. They just were like, yo, we good.
Totally did. Yeah, it's exactly what happened. But I like the pitching staff. I think the pitching staff is better than it was. Let me, when I said that pitching staff was terrible, remember, Bauer wasn't there, Miley wasn't there. These guys weren't on the team. Mm-hmm. So it looks a lot deeper than it was. And they're, what's their face? I mean, they bring him in as the closer most of the time, but then they switch him up with Lorenzen sometimes. But Iglesias, I love him too. I think he's electric.
No, he's a talent.
Reds are tough.
Yeah, I like this Reds team, dude. I'm telling you.
This lineup is probably... All right. I'm going down a limb. I love being bold. I say the Pirates throw up more runs than the Reds this year.
No.
I'm telling you. I am telling you.
No
I am telling you the Pirates will put up more runs than the Reds this year.
I want to go on air right now and make like $100.
I told you we're gonna make bold predictions. This is one of my bold predictions this year. Pirates put up more runs than the Reds. Pirates have a bunch of guys on there that I believe in, and they're fast.
No.
There's no speed. When you look at this team, it looks like a 50-year-old softball team.
Prop bets. I like underdog picks like that. Like weird picks. But in baseball, when you play that many games and mathematics actually takes toll, look at these lineups. It is straight impossible that the Pirates are going to score more runs than the Reds.
Bro,
especially with the pitching.
Speed. They could steal bases. Reds don't have any speed.
All right. So if you're going from 1 to 3, right, on the pitching staffs, you're starting off with Luis Castillo versus Chris Archer.
Then I'm saying they're going to put up more runs. I'm not talking about the pitching.
No, he's not even talking about wins or any of that. You're just talking about just runs. That's it.
Just runs.
The Pirates are going to have more runs than the Reds this year. That's not happening. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way because look at the Pirates. They're pitching. They're just going to give up some runs to every team that they play in that division.
We're not talking about
the Reds.
2 guys.
No, but I'm saying the Reds alone will score more runs on the Pirates.
Watch. I know my baseball. I know my baseball. I know it. I'm telling you.
Pirates' top 2 guys is Bell and Marte, 60 combined homers between 2 guys. And that's their top 2 guys. And one of them had an MVP season of 37 homers. Suarez had 50.
Yeah, but he's going to regress. And by the way, he's regressing.
How do you figure? Why? He progressed. He hit like 47 the year before. It's not like this is
I'm just saying,
a luck. People forget about this guy.
I don't believe in Suarez. I don't.
I do.
We got to wait for the season to start. I'm telling you, Reds aren't going to be as good as people think.
No, the Reds might not be as good as we think, but the bet is Reds and Pirates runs.
I'm
confident.
confident.
Not coming close.
I am confident. They have Brian Reynolds, who's going to bat 320 this year at the top of the lineup. You guys got Shoko Yakayumo at the top. Like, who is that?
Bro.
Like, who is Shogo Akiyama? And then Joey Votto. Like, come
Votto's
on.
a Hall of Famer.
All right. I'm talking about
what?
This year,
Prediction time.
This year, Votto isn't going to have a Hall of Fame season.
And it happens. I disagree with that, but it happens.
You're banking on. So if you want Suarez to bring in runs, you need Votto and Akiyama to get on base.
I like it better than whoever's
Brian Reynolds and Starlin Marte. And then you got
Starlin Marte when he gets out for 87 games for steroid abuse.
And Tylen's going to win the Cy Young this year too.
On the DL. He's going to be the first one ever.
Let's do predictions. Let's go. And make sure you keep these.
Yeah. All right, here's my prediction. I'm going 1 Reds, 2 Cubs, 3 Cardinals, 4 Pirates, 5 Brewers.
Wait, what?
Brewers in last place.
You just said you put the Reds in first?
Yeah, Reds are probably the best team. That doesn't mean they're going to put the best runs. I think they got the best staff. I think they're going to win because they're pitching, and they have one of the best closers.
Oh, last thing, by the way, we forgot to mention earlier, not to talk about, but I'm just throwing this in there. what a loss it is for the Cardinals to lose Ozuna, by the way. We didn't even mention that. Osuna, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
they
tough.
fell big time. Who's going next, me or Derek?
Let's let Lewis go.
All right, first place, I like the Cubs. Then Reds, then Cardinals, then Brewers, then Pirates with 100 losses.
Bro, watch.
All right, so now I got the Reds in first, Cardinals second, Cubs third, Brewers in fourth, and Pirates in fifth.
All right, I just got to say this. Derek thought Zach Davies was still on the Brewers, so he can't put the Brewers in fourth place.
I didn't think he was on the Brewers, bro.
Yeah, all I know is this. If you look at the pitching staffs right now, Pittsburgh and Brewers, I think Pittsburgh has a better staff. The Brewers had Jacob Ishmael. What was his name?
Now, that guy was in my Hebrew school. For sure. Jacob Ishmael, guaranteed. I know I sat next to him in the third grade.
All right.
That's it.
Before we get out of here, though, let's talk about some, from the sports card angle, some buy lows for the Reds. I think Nick Senzel, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not bullish on anybody, though, right now on the Reds. Or must-haves. If you're looking longer term, I think Votto is a good must-have. I think he is going to get in the Hall of Fame. And his stuff's pretty cheap if you're looking for like a PSA 10 rookie. There's just nothing really sexy about the Reds either. You don't really want to invest in Bauer. You don't want to invest in Sonny Gray. He's old. Yeah.
I like Hunter Green for an investment, though.
He has to
he
show
comes
me
back and
something,
becomes
though.
good.
He had Tommy John and then got lit up in the minors after. He scares me.
Yeah. I forgot about Hunter Green, honestly. Because everybody was talking about him forever. But, I mean, the dude's only 20, so.
I mean, my man was on the box of Bowman. He never
That's what
did
I'm
anything.
saying.
He was on the box of Bowman.
Yep.
And he signed his cards with the dollar sign.
I mean,
Hunter money, man.
I want him to succeed just because that.
Yeah.
Like,
That's pimp. Let me tell you, you don't sign your card with a dollar sign if you're not the man and know it. He's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I hope.
Zach Davies should sign his card with the poop emoji.
Yo, Zach Davies should just sign his name Derek Morgan on every card.
Zach Davies.
Who is that? Chris Bryant?
That's Zach Davies.
No.
No, it's not. That's Chris Bryant.
Yeah, that's Chris Bryant.
Yeah.
Stop. I think don't you have the biggest Zach Davies Superfractor collection in America?
I only have 3 of them. They cost me $9.99.
Are there questions coming in on your end? Because there's stuff moving on my screen, and I'm not getting anything on my end, so it has to be on yours. We'll open up for questions right now for the next 5 minutes, and then we are outie. We're opening up Triple Threads Baseball in about 5 minutes.
Oh, Jeff Howard. What did he say? He says Reds are a wild card at a minimum, and he says Amir Garrett is a beast.
See, Jeff
Amir
Howard.
Garrett is punching everybody. Amir Garrett is knocking out teams this year, but with his fists, not with his strikeouts.
All right, Brock Robinson says, I think David Ross will energize them, the Cubs he's talking about, and add a few wins. I like that. I think he's going to be a dope manager. Jason Taylor says Schwarber is in his prime. Trade him to the Tigers for a pitcher and let him bat .275 with 35 homers. I'm all right with that. He says he totally agrees with the Chris Bryant card analysis. He said Josh Bell is too old, though, to turn his value around. He does say Royals are worse than the Pirates as well. And Jeff Howard says Votto walks 120 times a year. So that is
I forgot about the Royals. But we didn't do AL West. That's tomorrow. That's next.
Yeah. That's
why I forgot about the Royals. The Royals do stink, too.
Tonight at 10.
I bet on them to win the World Series last year, the Royals. What was I thinking?
I don't know. It sounded like you were going to pick the Pirates today, so.
Listen, everyone
and
play
then
this
threw
back.
Him in like what, 5th?
Play this back. they are going to score more runs than the Reds. If Jameson Taillon was healthy this year, I'd have them in,
oh my God,
I'd have them in second place.
Stop.
Because
Taillon and Davies.
just take Flaherty and put him on the Pirates, and that's how I feel about Taillon.
All right, let's look at this guy up right now. James Taillon.
Love him.
Jameson with his .3 WAR last year, with his 4.1 ERA and his
Bro, he didn't even pitch.
2 wins and 3 losses in 37 innings.
All right, he played in 2018, 3.2 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, and he had 179 strikeouts, 191 innings. The dude was only 26 that year. He put up 14 wins on a Pirates team, and I think he was only going to get better from there. And then he got hurt. I like him.
Dude, he's done.
I cannot believe we gave Pirates all this attention. They suck.
They suck.
They are so bad. Like, I really don't understand what you're seeing. They're terrible.
I don't know. He's looking at like Kyle Overbay and like Jason Bay and I don't
crazy.
Like,
Mike Street says expectations. Oh, Jeff. All right. So Mike Street first said expectations for Hyota this year. I think he has the potential if he's hitting in the middle of the Brewers lineup and everyone doesn't just fall off the planet because they just get old at the same time. Besides Yelich, I think Hyota has a chance to put up a 33 homer, 108 RBI, 92 run season with a 289 batting average.
Did you just pull that straight off of
that's just
baseball
what?
reference?
No, that's my brain. That's how I'm telling you. I'm nasty with projections. That's what I'm saying with Keston Hyota. I think he has the potential to put up that type of year right now.
I think he's the next Mike Trout.
I think he could be better.
Yeah,
I think Keston Hyota could put up 33, 109 or 104, whatever, 72 runs, and then next year everyone's going to be hyping him up. Jeff Howard
This is
said,
what I want to know. This is what I want to know. I wonder if the people watching, when they're thinking to themselves, like, what are they actually thinking? If they're saying, like, Stephen Michael says this guy's going to be good, I better go invest in him. Or are they saying Stephen Michael loves this guy, but he also likes the Pirates to come in first? Like, I'm definitely not going.
I don't have the Pirates. I have the Pirates fourth. But I think they put up more runs than the Reds. That's it. I think the Reds are in first. Right. I think the Reds are in first because they're pitching. I think that 1-2-3 combo is better than the Astros 1-2-3 combo. I think it's
what?
It is. Who's the 1-2-3 combo for the Astros? Verlander and who?
Greinke.
And then McCullers?
Yeah.
Stop. Trevor Bauer's better than Lance McCullers.
You got to give Jeff Howard his time in the sun with his Canadian comment. Taillon, Tyler O'Neill, and Votto are Canadian. All will be all-stars.
That's what I'm saying. Tyler O'Neill.
And then Jason says Hyota is an all-star this year. Howie Kendrick is comp. I don't know if Howie Kendrick was never great. I think Hyota could be great, Jason. And
see the Tyler O'Neill, and Votto being all-stars. This is the one comment I don't know if he's being serious or not because they're Canadian. And he thinks all Canadians should make the all-star game.
I mean, Taillon could be an all-star. Votto has been. And Tyler O'Neill I just don't like.
Tyler O'Neill ain't that bad, but I don't know. I don't know enough about him.
When you say he ain't that bad, but I don't know, that's so trash bags.
Well, he hit 320 last year and had 30 stolen bases. I mean, he's not bad with 25 homers, so I'll take him.
How many Ks?
Jason Taylor said you're correct about the Astros staff.
99 Ks.
Thank you. I'm correct about all the staffs. I'm telling you. I know my pitching. Astros are still good, though. They're a top 5 staff probably, but I would put the Reds ahead of them. I think the only staff that is better than the Reds is going to be the Nationals, is going to be the Yankees potentially.
Say it. Come on.
Definitely not. Steven Matz, who's your number 3?
Stroman.
Oh!
Oh, that's really Stroman
He wasn't
is,
even the Blue Jays number 3.
No, he was
an
the Blue
off
Jays
year. I
number
love
1.
Stroman. Right. Love Stroman.
Look, Yankees are going to have Cole, Tanaka. I don't like Paxton, but still, as a number 3, you could make an argument Paxton's a legitimate number 3. I think, seriously, out of all these pitching staffs I've seen, I love the Reds. I absolutely love them. That's like a sexy 1, 2, 3.
I like it. I like the Reds this year.
There's more questions coming in on your end?
Let me see. Nah, that's it. Time to wrap it.
All right. Yeah, we got to wrap it anyway.
Yeah.
But there is stuff coming in on your end. Who said it?
There is.
Richard Fisher. The Nat staff is best in the league. See, you guys are brutal, man. You guys can't even read me comments on your end.
It's not in there. I don't see it. I'm looking right at the last thing I got is from Jason Taylor.
Is that Zach
I
Davies?
read everything.
Oh, you're in my room. That's why.
Yeah, I'm in your room.
Yeah, you got to get in the filth.
And you know, Derek doesn't pay attention to the other
Derek
one.
could care less about the other one. So
yeah,
well, that's where our problem is, Lewis. We were in the same room the whole time.
All right, I promise everybody, starting the next podcast, I'll be in the other room with Derek. So you have 2 of us in there.
Oh, there's no video in the other room.
How's there no video in the other room? Yes, there is.
Where?
That's how the comments are coming in. You're brutal. He's brutal.
No, there's no video.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys. So if you take anything from this podcast tonight, this is the things I want you to take from it. 1, the leadoff hitter for the Reds is trash bags. 2, Zach Davies is not on the Brewers. And number 3, Stroman is not a number 3 starter. Those are the 3 things you need to take from this podcast tonight. Also, remember the Pirates will put up more runs than the Reds. Aquino will not put up more than 12 home runs this year. If he does, I'll put my foot in my mouth. I really don't think he's legit. And if you're going to go out there right now and invest in anybody from tonight, Keston Yoda. I'd invest in Keston Yoda. Don't invest in pitchers, really. It's Jameson Tyons, whatever. I love them, though, but I wouldn't go out and buy them. That's what I'm saying. Jason Taylor said, did you do NL East in previous? Yes, we did. Go check it out. It's in the room. Just type in podcast and go see which one it is. I have no idea. There's more questions coming in.
It might be titled under 8-box mixer. We don't know.
All right, guys, we got to run. We got Triple Threads breaking in a few moments. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Seriously, I mean, all 2 of you tonight that tuned in. No, seriously, we love you guys, for real. You guys are awesome. If you have any questions, as always, even when we're off air, feel free. Shoot us a PM, especially Derek. And on that note, on behalf of myself, Stephen Michael, Louis Solo, Derek Morgan, and FIlthbomb Breaks, we want to thank you for giving us the opportunity, allowing us to podcast for you tonight. And until the next break, till the next Casebox Pack or podcast, we're signing off saying, sayonara, bro, Tanis. Catch you on the flip side. Go by Zach Davies.
Hey, this is World Champion Johnny Damon.
This is World Series Champion Cliff Floyd.
This is Kevin Newman of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
This is a World Series champion, Ozzie Guillen. This is Carlos Pena, 14-year MLB veteran.
This is 2-time NL MVP Dale Murphy of the Atlanta Braves.
This is John Plante, pitcher with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
This is World Series champion Joe Musgrove.
This is Jordan Luplow of the Cleveland Indians.
This is Lance Coach Jim from Houston Astros.
What's up, it's A. Jones of the Buffalo Bills.
It's Tyler Lockett of the Seattle Seahawks.
This is Hunter Henry of the LA Chargers.
This is Jose Canseco.
And when I'm not on the field catching bombs from Russell Wilson.
When I'm not on the field catching bombs.
When I'm not on the field catching bombs.
When I'm not on the field hitting bombs.
I'm watching my guys over at FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb. FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb.
FIlthbomb breaks.
Off those nasty.
Nasty.
Nasty. Nasty.
Nasty. Nasty.
Nasty.
Nasty FIlthbomb. I know a thing or 2 about hitting some bombs, fellas.
But there's nothing quite like hitting a filth bomb
For my guys over at FIlthbomb Breaks.
FIlthbomb! FIlthbomb! Mike Trout 101 auto!
MVP breakers, MVP prices.
Keep those filth bombs coming, and I'll keep those World Series coming.
Thanks for making baseball cards fun again.
Thanks for making baseball cards fun again, guys. Go Bucks.
Thanks for making collecting cards fun again for the kids and for for all of us old timers as well.
A way to make baseball cards fun again, guys. Keep pulling those nasty filth bombs.
And pull me a Jose Canseco Superfractor.
And hit me a West Coast Superfractor. Go Astros.
Please pull me a Plani Superfractor.
How about you go pull me a Jordan Luplow Superfractor?